What is up, pizza fans? It's your boy Graham, also known as HamHocks42 on the internet, and today we're looking at a special deck. This is actually a championship deck. This is a champion caliber deck because this is the deck that took down the tournament this past Sunday, March 27th, 2022, the PizzaBox standard slice. There were over 70 participants who did submit deck lists, and at the end of the day, this one reigned supreme, and it is not surprising. And it was piloted by the one and only Swiss-Tac. So huge shout out to Swiss-Tac for taking down the tournament, and they were using this deck to do it. It is an Esper Planeswalker list that is absolutely fantastic with all of the mid-range necessities. It's got great removal. It's got a little bit of hand disruption. We have some phenomenal Planeswalkers, obviously. I just keep saying phenomenal because at the end of the day, I don't know what else to say. It turns out when you fill your deck with good cards, good things tend to happen for you. And that's exactly what we have here. As far as the removal suite is concerned, we have Portable Hole and March of Otherworldly Light as inexpensive ways to deal with a lot of different permanents out there, which is pretty fantastic. We have some hand disruption in a 2-of Check for Traps. We also have Infernal Grasp, Vanishing Verse, and the one and only Meat Hook Massacre, as well as a Doomscar as well. So, one of a Soul Shatter. So we have ways to deal with just about everything on the board. We have some Exile, we have some board wipes, we have Toughness Reduction, we have, we have creature removal, we have hand disruption. At the end of the day, the deck can deal with anything you put on the board, and it has to, because right now in Standard, this is a metagame that with a lot of diverse threats that people are trying to leverage, and so the fact that the versatility in the removal suite is excellent. Okay, but what's the proactive game plan? Well, we have the Reckoner Bankbuster as a card draw engine. That's a 3-of. We also have Kaito Shizuki as a card draw engine. And at the end of the day, this deck is known as Esper Planeswalkers for a reason. The walkers are really where the rubber meets the road. It's really what brings this deck to the next level. So Kaito Shizuki is the first Planeswalker we're going to be talking about. At the end of the day, +1 draw a card and discard a card unless you attack this turn. And it can also create a ninja token. There is an ultimate that says whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, search your library for, it's an emblem, search your library for a blue or black creature card, put it onto the battlefield and shuffle. Notably, there is not a single creature in the deck that you can fetch up with that ultimate. Kaito is here for the card draw. The ninja may be relevant and is a nice perk. It's a nice option to give you a little bit of flexibility. But at the end of the day, Kaito is a card draw engine, and that's exactly what Kaito's here for. And it works. The ultimate is irrelevant. Like, it's truly irrelevant in this deck. And that's okay. You know, the ultimates on our 3-drop Planeswalkers have a tendency to be either game-breaking in certain cases or irrelevant. And it's irrelevant in this case. But the +1 is good enough that it's worth taking up some spots at the 3-drop slot. We also have the Wandering Emperor. And the reason we have the Wandering Emperor is because this is a card in Standard. This is a Standard deck with white in it. It's really that simple. This card is amazing. It does everything you want it to do. It's removal. It's a relevant combat trick. It can produce a board state and allow you to grow that board state over time. I mean, the Wandering Emperor is an absolutely fantastic card. It does not have an ultimate, notably, unlike Kaito, but at the end of the day, every mode does something that can make you win combat, which is really what the Emperor is all about and what we ultimately want to see. So the Wandering Emperor is fantastic for that. We also have a 1-of Sorin. Oh, and this is a 4-of Wandering Emperor. Because it's good when you're ahead, it's good when you're behind, it's good when you're trying to turn the corner, it's good when you're trying to stabilize. Wandering Emperor does everything you want it to do. Sorin the Mirthless is also in here as a 1-of. This is card draw and a token generator. And the token it creates is a 2/3 black vampire creature token with flying and the lifelink. That stat line and the fact that it is flying is incredibly relevant. So that is a really cool card. And the +1 is an opportunity to draw cards. So you do have to pay a little bit of life sometimes, but at the end of the day, it does give you that Dark Confidant style effect that can help refill your hand, which is some days it's absolutely worth the price. And if you hit a land off the top, you just get a free land in your hand. Nothing wrong with that. So Sorin's great. There's the Doomscar that we talked about. There's also Lolth, the Spider Queen. Lolth is awesome. It puts 3 threats on the board for 5 mana. You get the Planeswalker that is a card draw engine. Now, it does go down to 1 loyalty after producing the spider tokens. But let's be honest, almost every time you play Lolth, you immediately create those spider tokens because 2/1 Menace Reach spiders are fantastic. They produce a board state that your opponent needs to deal with immediately, because they're good on offense and they're great on defense, and they trade for a lot of different cards that are out there in the meta right now. So it's fantastic. Loyalty also have the ultimate that says you get an emblem that whenever an opponent is dealt combat damage by one or more creatures you control, if that player lost less than 8 life this turn, they lose life equal to the difference. Basically making sure that all of your creatures hit for 8, which is a very impressive number. Not all of them at once, but if you get in for 1 damage with, say, a ninja token or one of these spiders, then that 1 damage or that 1 hit that you establish deals 8, you know, it results in 8 life loss total, which is pretty fantastic. That said, Lolth's only way of upticking is through creatures dying, so that doesn't tend to happen very often, or at least not often enough to see that emblem very frequently. And the emblem is ultimately not the point. You know, Lolth is here because it produces a board state all on 1 card, and it draws you cards. That's exactly what you want Lolth to be doing. So if you never see that ultimate, you've never see that emblem, you're fine, because you're still getting the value you want off Lolth. And then we also have an Emeria's Call in here, which creates 2 4/4 White Angel Warrior creature tokens, and it gives all non-angel creatures indestructible until the end of the next turn. So this is a great card, and it's got a land on the backside. It's a plains on the backside. So as a 2 of, it makes a lot of sense. This is a finisher. It's a great way to close out the game. When you've been jockeying for a position with your opponent back and forth, sometimes you just need a couple 4/4s on the board, and this will give you that, which is pretty fantastic. So Emeria's Call is a good way to close it out. So at the end of the day, this is a very... I mean, I would call this a typical mid-range plan. We have a lot of good 3, 4, and 5 drops. We want to curve out, create those, you know, establish some value with the Planeswalkers, and also hold up a lot of key removal and hand disruption pieces in order to shut down our opponent's game plan. And so in any game, we can either be the control player or we can be the aggressor, depending on what is necessary and called for, as such as the joy of mid-range. And this deck can definitely accomplish that. And notably, in the Standard Slice tournament, where this is a Swiss-Stack specific version, but in the top 4 of the tournament, everyone was playing, all 4 competitors were playing a variant of this list. So Esper Planeswalkers is a very popular and very powerful archetype right now. So if you want more information on that, please check out the metagame breakdown that we also posted to this channel not too long ago. And for future tournaments, if you are interested in joining, please check out the PizzaBox on MTGmelee. You can look them up as an organizer to see all of our upcoming tournaments. Please check them out. And for the month of April, we actually have the Slice of Alchemy coming up on April 10th. There is a PizzaBox Open Standard Set Qualifier Championship on the 17th. So that is going to be a standard event where you do have an opportunity to actually earn a set championship invitation. So definitely check that out. It's going to be definitely worth something. For the low price of $6 entry fee for that one. The rest of our tournaments are actually free, but for that one, for our set championship qualifiers, there is a $6 entry fee, but for $6 and a couple hours of your time, you have an opportunity to get a really prestigious invitation. So that's pretty great. And then on April 24th, there's also the PizzaBox Slice of Historic. So if you enjoy the Historic format and you've got a cool brew that you want to show off, or just a great deck that you know has what it takes, come down to the PizzaBox and show it off. We'd appreciate it very, very much. And the Slice of Alchemy on the 10th and the Slice of Historic on the 24th are free. We do 3 tournaments every month, 2 of which are free to enter, one of which, like I said, has a prestigious invitation attached to it, but it does have a $6 entry fee. So keep that in mind. Definitely check them out in the future. We are going to play a little bit of gameplay with this deck to see it in action, give it a go, see what it's capable of, and really... I don't know, just take it for a spin. So if you want to stick around for the gameplay, we'd appreciate it very, very much. We're going to play a couple of games, and yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, and don't forget, stay cheesy. All right, so we have the Reckoner, Bankbuster, March for the World Lily Light, and Vanishing Verse in the opening hand. So our goal is to stick the Bankbuster and draw into as many cards as we possibly can, and hopefully into some of our Planeswalkers. We have a number of the slow lands in our hand, so I'm actually going to throw the Shipwreck Marsh first. So next turn we can throw a Ganjo and keep Vanishing Verse up, or we can hold Vanishing Verse back, or just get the Bankbuster. I think it's Bankbuster time. So Ganjo's coming down into the Reckoner Bankbuster. Now note, we are actually playing, so this deck is designed for best of 3. We didn't get into the sideboard during the deck tech, so I do apologize for that. We are going to be playing best of 1 matches for the purposes of this video, simply for the sake of time. Because we're trying to get a flavor for the deck is really the goal. All right, so our opponent is on Is It. Is it? It is It. All right, so we are going to go ahead and crack the Bankbuster. Bust the bank, see? Draw a card. We don't have any land problems. We got 99 problems, but lands ain't one. Hit me. All right, we also have the Wandering Emperor now available. So if they drop any kind of hasters, the Wandering Emperor could be relevant. I don't know which hasters those would be, because if they had a Reckless Stormseeker, they probably would have thrown it last turn unless they just top-decked it. I'm going to go for Expressive Iteration here. Sure, fine, whatever. That's going to resolve. And they did that before their land drop. Very smart, very smart. All right. So we have an opportunity to just jam the Wandering Emperor here. They just foretold, so they've tapped out. I think we do it. I think we Wandering Emperor into a Samurai token. This is establishing us. This is a pretty aggressive play. Now, I'm a very aggressive player in general. It's usually my style. So that's kind of showing here. I'm choosing to take that route. I don't know that Swistack or any of the other competitors from the tournament would be doing the same thing here. But I believe it's not a bad way to go, because we can get in for a free 3 damage here. Hold up Bankbuster. Now we have all of our removal just back live and online. That Foretold card, we could be looking at a Behold. We could be looking to Saw It Coming. Build the Multiverse, that is. Could be a number of things. Could be a Demon Bolt. That's a possibility as well. You know, usually when I see a Foretold card, I just immediately assume that it's a Doomscar, but obviously in this situation that can't be the case, because they're not running white mana. They're going to Dragon's Fire the Emperor. All right, fair enough, fair enough. We still have a 3/3 Vigilant Body that the Emperor left behind, so that's pretty rad. All right, is that their turn? It sure is. Let's crack the Bankbuster, which is also partially the reason why we didn't crew the Bankbuster and attack for an additional damage last turn. I say partially because the other part of it is I didn't think to do that. All right, so now Kaito Shizuki is coming online. If they have more instant speed reactions, now is actually a fine time to use them, because I did not think to attack before playing Kaito. Now that is a small punt on my part. We should have attacked first. That way we didn't give our opponent priority before activating Kaito's ability. A little PSA out there. Just do that. Okay. All right. So they're going to bounce our Samurai, but they did let us declare it as an attacker, which means Kaito does just give us a free draw here. Had they bounced the Samurai before it was declared as an attacker, however, we wouldn't have been able to do that. It would have been a draw discard effect. So we're very fortunate that they waited 1 step further than maybe they should have for that Fading Hope. Goldspan Dragon. Yeah, that's a good card. Good card. Very Vanishing Versatile. Infernal Grasp is also a fine option here. But I really just like exiling Goldspan Dragons. It makes me happy. I can't help it. So the Infernal Grasp would have been a fine option. March of Otherworldly Light would have cost us a little bit more, but we could have done it. Alrighty then. Alrighty, Roo. We can create a Ninja token. Get that on board. We can also crack the Bankbuster. Let's just crack the Bankbuster. Get that treasure token in the pilot. So, let's see what we draw into here. I was kind of hoping for another Walker. We just didn't get there, unfortunately. But we also have plenty of lands. So let's go ahead and just loot away here. We can discard a Swamp and not feel bad about it. Soren, what up, dog? You're exactly who I wanted to see right now. Yeah, let's go. Our one of Soren the Mirthless. Our opponent has 1 mana in that treasure token available. Let's create the Vampire, and we still, because of the treasure token that the Reckoner Bankbuster created, we still have Infernal Grasp up. This feels good. Feels real good. We got our Getaway Driver. We got a Reckoner Bankbuster. We got 2 Walkers. We are living our best life right now, and it feels fantastic. And this is exactly what the deck wants to do. Now, our opponent did try to stick a threat in Goldspan Dragon, and we just denied it immediately. And we're still sitting here with 3 more removal spells in hand. I mean, our opponent doesn't know that, obviously, but they need to have... I mean, they need to have some pretty powerful stuff in that hand. Now, to be fair, they have 5 cards in hand, plus 1 foretold. So, all right, Dragon's Fire is going after Sorin. Fair enough. We're not going to get our Dark Confidant on, but we still have that 2/3 flyer that Sorin created, so that's pretty great. And we pulled removal out of their hand. Not bad. Sorin definitely did his job. Spikefield Hazard going after the Pilot. That is fair. It's also a bummer because that means we can't crew the Reckoner Bankbuster next turn. Unless we were to create a Ninja and use both, but I'd rather use both creatures to crew, but I don't think that's quite worth it. All right, who do we run into? Show me Lolth? No, no Lolth to be had, unfortunate. I'm going to keep hitting our land drops because we can. This time, I think we create the Ninja. All right, so we've got the Ninja online now. If our opponent's sitting on a board wipe, now is as good a time as ever to use it. We're going to attack with the Vampire. Behold the Multiverse. That was one of the ones I called. What can I say? I know my foretellable cards. All right. Another Goldilocks coming in. I'd like to grasp that Goldspan Dragon. Yes, you can get some treasure. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, Graham, you just said about how much you enjoy exiling Goldspan Dragons. March of Otherworldly Light is right there. Why didn't you fire it? It's like, well, I really just didn't want to spend so much mana. That's really what it comes down to. So the Unexpected Windfall with the Goldspan Dragon down, this now gives them access to 7 mana, so they're going to hit a Behold the Multiverse. My goodness, they are digging. They're digging possibly for a counter spell, but we have the other Infernal Grasp up if they find it. So they can counter our original Infernal Grasp when we just hit them with a second. Or we hit them with the March of Otherworldly Light for style points. That could be fun. Yeah, there's certainly nothing wrong with that. Ooh, they're going to abrade our Vampire. I don't like that, but... I don't like it, but what you going to do? I mean, I'm going to cry about it. Wah! All right, so here we have a situation in which we have destroyed their Goldspan Dragon on their turn. And they don't have any treasure tokens lying around. That does not happen often. All right, Shattered Sanctum coming down. Gonna chip in with the Ninja. So this becomes card draw. Show me a Walker. More removal, and good removal at that. So we can do a lot worse. I'm not mad at that. We're still ahead here. Our opponent has had to mortgage a lot of cards to deal with our board state, and we have answered 2 Goldspan Dragons, which feels pretty good. They are down to 34 cards left in library. We are chilling at a cool 39. All right, this is feeling pretty good. Like, this deck just feels solid. It feels, and we're going up against Izzet, which has been kind of a bugaboo out there for a long time. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment with mana value X or less. 5. We can auto pay that. We still have Infernal Grasp up if they do have a, if they do have or dig into a counter spell. Memory Deluge. They are doing some more digging, but they don't have any mana back, which means March of Otherworldly Light is coming through. They do draw 2 cards in the process, though, but at this point we have answered 3 Goldspan Dragons. All right, you'll love to see it. So we are going to attack with the Ninja. We're drawing into a lot of lands. We're kind of flooding out a little bit here, but I would rather hit my land drops than not. So you can do a lot worse. We'll be okay. This Bankbuster going to draw us a Bankbuster. Let's go. All right. I'm going to hold that back. So we hold Infernal Grasp back up. We have access to Infernal Grasp and the Bankbuster, so that's pretty rad. Our opponent has 5 cards in hand. They've just passed their turn. Intriguing. Very intriguing. Goodness, lands, holy lands. Wow. All right. I'm gonna play that as a black mana source because straight doesn't matter at this point. Soul Shatter, you're not bad. I'll take you. Let's draw more cards. Bust in the bank, lol. What up, you crazy Spider Queen? Let's get it. All right. Do they have the counter spell? Because they didn't counter any of my removals for their Goldspan Dragons. I assume if they had a counter spell, they would have used it, and we have not seen one yet. Saw it coming. I stand corrected. All right. Fair enough, opponent. I got you on a 13 turn clock. Let's go. And we happen to be drawing all the cards in the process, so we're doing just fine. Doomscar, I'll take it. Not that it's going to be relevant in this matchup, I don't think. Let us Soul Shatter the Hullbreaker Horror. Get out of here. Poof! Oh, that felt good. Oh, that felt so good. That one of Soul Shatter, that's exactly what it's here for. All right, now the Goldspan is going to stick, which I don't love. But at this point, Kaito has upticked so many times. He's got the loyalty to hang on. Which I'm pretty jazzed about, not gonna lie. Pretty darn jazzed. I love being jazzed. It feels good. Feels real good. They're gonna Shatter Skull, get rid of our Planeswalker and the Ninja. Rock on. Okay. Alright. Good work, opponent. You are doing some good stuff. I will give you that. So we can Doomscar here so that we don't give them a treasure token and just get rid of their 4th Goldspan Dragon. And I should be doing more deliberate mana math here, but I'm not. Let's just see, does Loth resolve? Yes, Loth resolves. Let's go. Oh, the value train has left the station. And I am pretty darn grateful. Double Bankbuster Cruise. 8 damage to the face. Let's go. All right, Reckoner Bankbuster is just quietly, like, I love how it went, like, in my estimation, I looked at Reckoner Bankbuster and was like, it's kind of like a Maze Mind Tome, that's good, I guess. But now it's like, the more I see it in action, the more I like it. It's just fantastic. They're going to Unexpected Windfall, digging for something, digging for an answer to what we have established. And it's not looking good for them at this point. Another Unexpected Windfall, discarding the Jawari Disruption, which is definitely not going to do much for them. At this point, and they're going to do more digging with the Memory Deluge. My goodness, yeah, they're just going to scoop it up because they only have 1 mana available. Wow, that was exactly what this deck wanted to do. It was just pure value town. All right, let's go on to the game 2. All right, the Emeria's Call can come down as a land, so we'll have the Emeria's Call, the Ganjo, and the Shipwreck Marsh. Gives us all of our necessary lands in order to play Kaito on 3. We also have a Meathook Massacre, but we don't have a second black mana source for it. So hopefully we'll draw into that. And we do have the March of the Worldly Light. We're on the play. I mean, this isn't a great hand, but it's not awful either. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. My initial gut reaction in looking at the hand is I shouldn't keep this because it looks like a 2-lander, but the Emeria's Call does give us a 3rd land, so. And we just drew some more lands. Let's go. And that's the second black mana source we needed, so that's absolutely fabulous. Exactly what we're looking for. You know what? I'm actually gonna play out a Ganjo here. Let our opponent think we're on mono white with a goofy mana base. And this also gives us access to March of the Worldly Light on 1 should that opportunity show up. Like that. And we can actually March of the Worldly Light that Ochre Jelly. Although it's only a 1/1, so we can also just chill and not worry about it. I think we're going to have better targets for the March of the Worldly Light, so I'm going to wait. I punted there. I should have thrown the Shipwreck Marsh. Actually, you know what? To be honest, I should have thrown the Shipwreck Marsh last turn, so we'd have access to Kaito here. That was a mistake on my part. We're going to take 1 damage for it. Go ahead and blame that on me. That was me being a goof. Sorry to all the Esper Planeswalker players out there who are like, this clown is really representing this deck. I know. All right, we have an opportunity to march the Ochre Jelly, or we can just take one here. I think I am going to march the Ochre Jelly, actually. Because Ochre Jelly has a tendency to result in shenanigans, and I don't like when my opponent has shenanigans in play. You know, what's that restaurant you like with all the goofy stuff on the walls and the mozzarella sticks? Oh, you guys mean shenanigans? Anyway. I'm going to go ahead and loot here. I'm going to let the pathway go because the Shattered Sanctum is strictly better. Because we're not going to have black or white. Why not take black and white? So Kodama's coming in for a little bit of a love tap there. We do have the opportunity to Soul Shatter here, where you can even Meat Hook Massacre to take that sucker down, which feels pretty good, but we're not going to be able to attack this turn to get Kaito's action down. I think we just want to jam Lolth here and create some Spoders. Because sometimes you just got to create those Spoders. Ba-boom. I would also create a Ninja here, but that's just asking to be blown out by a Cinderclasm. So with Kaito, I am going to do the draw discard. Wow, Kami's Flare coming in. Now, this is a situation where it might look bad for us. I'm going to let the Bright Climb Pathway go because Deserted Beach gives us access to blue. Which, I mean, we already have one Shipwreck Marsh, but blue is absolutely the color that is least represented right now. I'm going to go ahead and take it. Take it to my Planeswalker. Let's go. Takanuma. Love that card. Alright, so Kaito's going to draw us a card here with that sweet, sweet +1 he's got. Hey, another Kaito! What up, dog? Happy to see you. I think we Meat Hook here. We're going to lose our Spider, but we are going to take out Kodama the West Tree and establish a Meat Hook Massacre on the board. That actually can make a huge difference. And Takanuma only lets us pick up a creature or Planeswalker card. So that'll actually get us Lolth back later. Let's go. Alright, we're doing this. Meat Hook for 3. If they have a way to buff the Kodama, now's the time to use it. They apparently do not, or choose not to use it in this case. And we're just getting a little bit more value than our opponent, and that's exactly where we want to be. Feels darn good, as a matter of fact. Now, we don't have any creature lands, so we can't activate... So Kaito's going to be a looter at this moment. Ochre Jelly. I almost feel bad. Portable Hole was the perfect draw here. Poof. Just eat that 5/5. Nom 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 nom. And then I'm going to go ahead and... I'm just going to use Takanuma right now. We're not going to have Soul Shatter up, which is mildly problematic. Ooh, Wanderer. I think we want Lolth, though. Lolth is fantastic. Let's create that Ninja. Because I want to be able to attack with impunity. Ava Caretaker. And we have the Soul Shatter back. Okay, in the deck tech, I pointed out that this deck has answers to everything at every phase in the game. And we are witnessing that so well here. It's not even funny. We're going to go ahead and attack. Like, all the different answers. The one of Soul Shatter is coming in clutch. Because Soul Shatter gets around Hexproof. It's one of the only things out there right now that gets around Hexproof. I'm actually just going to Windmill Slam this right now. Just boom, get it gone. And we gain a life for our troubles. And we keep Vanishing Verse up. If we had one more land available, we'd be able to jam Lolth. Our opponent scoops it up. I can't blame them. I can't blame them. We denied everything they tried to do. Alright, that felt really good. Let's move on to the next game. Four lands, a Kaito, and some removal. This is looking good. This is looking really good. Let's keep it. And we're in a situation where we can throw the Sanctum on one. We could have thrown a Mirror's Call as well, but at this point, we have all the lands, so we don't need to commit a Ganjo or a Mirror's Call yet. Let me throw the Pathway as blue. We don't have access to Vanishing Verse as a direct result of that. But I didn't want to Vanishing Verse a Shambling Ghast anyway. Not that we knew that was coming, but hey, I'll take it. Kaito's coming out. And I'm just going to immediately uptick. Dump one of the lands. I should have dumped a swamp. That was silly, but, well, whatever. It'll be all right. If that's the worst punt I have this game, we are going to be just fine. And our opponent missed a land drop. Feels good, yo. Ninja time? Loot time. Ninja time. It's ninja. It's ninja time. Boo doo 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 doo. All right. Anyway. I think it's Wandering Emperor time, so that we can exile the eye torch and gain a little bit of life. Wow. I mean, okay, our opponent was stuck on 2 land, in all fairness. But we just hit exactly what we wanted to do. And they saw it. They knew what was coming on. They saw the writing on the wall. That was that. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, this deck is sweet. Needless to say, this deck is sweet. So thank you so much for checking out the video. Appreciate it. We appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like it, please hit that subscribe button. And like I mentioned earlier, if you are interested in joining the PizzaBox challenges, the PizzaBox tournaments in the future, please check them out on mtgmelee.com. Tournament organizer PizzaBox. Look for that, and you'll find all of our upcoming tournaments, all of our events, and we'd appreciate that very, very much. So thank you so much. Have a phenomenal day, and we will catch you on the next one.